Welcome into the Honolulu Blues Show. We are your host. No, we are the Honolulu Blues Show. I'm your host, Adam Stark. As always, Nick, I see you repping Michigan State nice and early. We got Michigan State coming up at 8:30, I believe, or maybe 8. I don't know.
I think it's 8:30.
8:30. Okay, cool. Sweet. So we're gonna get some U of M, Michigan State talk here, which will always be some fun action with the boys. We got Julius in the house as well. But Julius, we're gonna kind of do or die situation. Michigan State, they don't need this win, but if they want to rip out the heart of little brother Michigan, little brother, put quotations around that for the listeners, then they could do it, And State's already beat us once this year. There's been all the rumors of us ducking, us, rescheduling, skipping out, and being scared of Michigan State. But all in all, we're ready to face them. We're back at home at the Chrysler Center, and Michigan is favored by 4.5 points. And honestly, I think they come out strong. I think Dickinson is gonna channel his inner manliness and carry this team to a victory. So, Julius, you got some thoughts?
I think it's definitely possible that Michigan State rips out the throat and heart of our Michigan basketball team, because our Michigan basketball team, we are wounded right now. Okay, all we have is our pride, and I don't know if that's enough to get us past a tough MSU team who's trying to prove something as well towards the end of the stretch. So I can see Michigan. There's an avenue that we beat Michigan State if we get hot from three, which is likely, less than likely. I don't know, but I'm predicting Michigan State to win.
I will say,
Go blue.
Caleb Houston has been playing a lot better. So if he just has that 5-star breakout game, which he's capable of, then I definitely think Michigan can win. But as a Sparty, let's hear it, Nick.
Oh, boys. It's always a good game, right? It's always a good game. I think last time they played each other is going to just kind of continue to roll into this game. I mean, they ended the game with Steve Izzo on the court and a football player, like just one of the best like winning formation groups that you could send out there. And I expect the same thing tonight. I expect us to be, real competitive into halftime, a strong 10-point lead by Michigan State out of it. And Michigan just never get, inches. Final about 15-17. Michigan State wins 80. No, that's too much. What am I saying? 70-53. There we go. That's what I got.
70-53. That's a big score. Well, then, if you believe that, you should head on over to FanDuel, place a couple bucks on that, because Michigan State is definitely in the plus money for just to win straight up. I don't know the exact odds, but Michigan was favored by 4.5, which kind of did seem a little high. But I guess Michigan is, prove it mode right now. They're home. We have Diabate back. I know Howard's not there, but it'll be interesting. So
it's also great. Like we get Michigan State tonight. We got the Red Wings tonight. We got the Pistons tonight. Like I'm gonna need 3 TVs out here. Like I need to go to a bar so I can watch everything. Like we might be doing this show on the to go. You know what I mean?
Honestly, man. Honestly. Nick, I hate to bring it up, but what we might not have, and not tonight, but maybe in the future, that's some MLB baseball. And the latest news, I don't know the exact details, but my baseball friends are growing sadder and sadder. And I think there was a proposal today, and I think it got pretty much just shut down, and there was no agreement. So, Nick, I'm sure you know more on this. Is there going to be a baseball season, and are we going to see some Tiger action?
Oh golly, I hope so. I got my bobblehead of Jeff Weaver for anyone who knows who that guy is. He was hoping, he was shaking his head yes. He thought we were going to get a deal done, and apparently the MLB just stinks. It's just that's all I can really say about it. No, I don't think. I mean, yes, I think there will be a season, but it will be a shortened season, similar to last year, and it's probably going to be like a 60-game season again. That's my guess. That is what I think will happen. I think in I'll say 8 weeks. We'll have like a real good decision, and by 10 weeks from now, we'll have come to an agreement. But you gotta go through like warm up and spring training still, even though it's midsummer, and then you're gonna probably just play out 60 games, in my opinion. Have a playoff run like it was last year. I think where they're gonna do exactly what it was last year. You're gonna see that just repeat itself. It stinks. I've been looking. Was it last year, 2 years ago, whatever year I'm talking about? It stinks, and I'm not happy about it. I was so happy to 5:00 tonight. Oh man, I had the champagne ready. I was gonna pop some bottles and let's go Tigers, and put it back away. Back in the wine cellar. No champagne popping tonight. Hopefully the next time.
Rumors were swirling that once Javier Baez came to the Tigers, there was more rumors that Carlos Correa was going to tag along with him, and the Tigers were going to become a powerhouse.
Dude, the dream
this
team.
was just the beginning. And the MLB was like, no, Detroit cannot be.
Shut that down, dude.
We're not playing baseball if that's the case. So.
Can you imagine that middle of Carlos Correa and friggin' Javier Baez running that? Oh, my, Spencer Torkelson at first base. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. And our whole pitching staff is so good, and we're all just a year older. Casey Mize, Matt Manning, Tariq Skubal. These boys are like legit. We had someone pitch a no-hitter last year. Spencer Turnbull, he'll be back. Boys, this team is rock solid. The addition of oh my gosh, what's his name?
Rodriguez.
No, who's the catcher that we added? That's the guy. Oh, and Rodriguez, dude. Oh my gosh, dude.
We added the arm from the Red Sox. I think it's
Rodriguez. It is Rodriguez. I can't remember his name.
And we added a catcher,
Tucker Barnhart.
There we go.
Tucker Barnhart. There it is. And team is built for a pennant run. I have money on it with Juan from Julius's other podcast saying the Tigers were going to win the pennant this year, or win the division this year. But now we'll never know because the MLB stinks, dude. So I don't know.
Give me a little recap. Like, what's the holdout here? Like, what's the argument?
Money, dude.
Obviously money, but like, is it like the players aren't like they want to be paid more, or is it like something to do with contracts or TV?
It's the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh,
there was 40 minor league baseball affiliates that got shut down last year.
Oh, okay.
They don't pay their minor leaguers. There's guys who have minor leaguers in Los Angeles who can't afford to live in like a bedroom. Yeah. They live in a bedroom because they're only getting paid $30,000 a year. They can't eat. You know what I mean? They can't do like I lived in Lansing, Michigan, where you would run into Lansing Lugnut players and they didn't go out. They never go out, not because they love the sport, because they couldn't freaking go out. They like legitimately couldn't go out. So I don't know. Julius, do you have anything else to add to that?
I mean, the Major League Baseball just don't produce the type of revenue that the other major leagues like NFL, NBA does at this level. And it's getting worse and worse. And the players union don't want to budge on what they think they're worth to the game. And I don't blame them. They're professional athletes just like anything else. Baseball is still popular. But honestly, it's all a scheme to deny the Detroit Tigers the AL pennant. And I got attacked by a savage crew of White Sox fans yesterday on Against the Standard podcast. They came through the comments just because I said there was a conspiracy theory because the Tigers with Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, Casey Mize, and the lights are going to run through the AL Central for the next decade. Listen, I'm just speaking facts. Don't come at me on Twitter. Don't come at me on the show. White Sox fans, y'all had one year to do it, and y'all didn't. It's okay.
Yeah,
not to mention AJ Hinch. I mean, as much as you might want to like hate the guy.
Nah, dude.
A pretty good job. I mean,
he's
just
a competitor.
History,
He's a competitor. He's a competitor. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, win it.
People don't hate Bill Belichick, do they?
That's a good point.
Pretty sure he cheated a couple times. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure everyone still loves the old Mr. Bill Belichick. AJ Hinch is a competitor. He's the man. I can't wait to hear some trash cans banging. Like sound like freaking watching Stomp. You know what I mean? In the dugout, boom, da, boom, da, boom, da, boom. You're like, yeah, curveball, bro.
Home run.
Dude, that's funny.
On a
Wait.
Oh.
Let's not get out of this MLB talk by saying that their MLB doesn't get all this revenue. What is something that you think the MLB can do to start to get revenue? In my opinion, they need to allow it to be a little bit more like hockey, where fights, you don't get suspensions after.
Yeah.
You just like have a couple fights here and there. You know, maybe in baseball, no one ever really fights. You have a couple gloves thrown and like, you can let no suspensions on that stuff. Let the boys be angry and play, and then get rid of let the boys dance after a home run. When they hit a home run, like a touchdown celebration, go sign a Sharpie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this. Oh yeah, hey, I've been here before. No, dude, give me some electric boogaloo moves. You know what I mean? So
how about a mid-season tournament like the NBA is proposing, or how about making everything about the league mean more, including the All-Star game, including maybe shorten the season, tweak the rules a little bit, just do something to make it appeal more, make it more interesting to the newer generation.
Well, what they kind of did was they stopped testing for steroids. I don't know how long that's going to go on for, but if they just don't re-sign that and just like, yeah, we'll trust you,
Oh
then,
man, 115 home run seasons. Let's go, dude.
Awesome.
Oh man, I'm all right with it. I don't know. All right, I just wanted to see what everyone had an idea, because we talk about how MLB is going down. We got to have ideas to bring it up.
They just got to attract the young audience. And we see the younger generation. They're like, oh, Pat Mahomes, the gritty, Jamar Chase, John Moran. These guys got swag.
Right.
And there's not really a whole lot of base.
No.
I mean, it's like
Fernando Tatis. Yeah,
that's it. And it's someone made a great point to the other day. It was like Mike Trout. You could see the dude walking down the street and you would never expect him to be like the best player in baseball or, one of them.
Yeah.
So MLB just needs to cater towards the younger generation instead of sticking with the old dying generation. And, they'll be successful. But I agree. They should. I think pitchers and the MLB should just come together and be like, yo, if you hit a home run, you should be able to celebrate. If you hit like a grand slam or a walk-off, backflip. Do whatever the hell you want. Like the defense or the outfield shouldn't be able to come at you for that. You made the mistake. You gave up the play. So
stop throwing the ball at them. Like, let them dance a little.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Just accept it and move on with your life. Like, that happened.
They need to keep our attention. We are not the older generation where we just sit in front of a TV and watch a baseball game for 4 hours and we have nothing to do in between. Because you know why? We all have these little smartphones in our hand. As soon as things get a little bit boring, we look down like this. We're not watching that baseball game. They need to keep our attention.
That's so true. That's so true.
On a quick little side note, one way that I was totally thinking how to grow, not just the MLB, but the WNBA too. And it's if all the sports book come together and said, look, we're each going to do our own different type of boost for one game each day. Doesn't matter what game it is. We all do different ones, but we each do, a 10%, 20% boost. And the more people that bet on it, if you bet on something, it gets to like the 8th, 9th inning, you're going to tune in. So I saw Barstool, Big Cat, post the thing watching WNBA. He like took some follower off Twitter's play on the over and it hit, and the video was pretty electric. The girl hit like a half-court shot or something to cover, and they didn't think it was going to happen. But I was like, there we go. You get people betting involved, they'll watch.
That's 100. I mean, I was watching Korean baseball betting on that stuff. So yeah, brother, that's exactly right. Absolutely.
But on a brighter note, and back to the Lions, we do have some good news in which I'll say at least 75, maybe 80% or higher percent sure we'll get at least one of these two. A Hard Knocks episode or TV show, whatever, this year. Season. There we go. Or we will host the 2024 NFL draft. And by that, there was news that we are one of three candidates, us, Green Bay, and Washington, three kind of odd candidates. And apparently we are the front runner. So Ryan Armani at Fox tweeted that out. So I don't know how accurate that is. Haven't heard any Detroit Lions beat reporters tweet it out, but the Lions are one of the three finalists, and the announcement will come at their meeting in March. So, Nick, I tweeted this out. You think Detroit could put on a good show for the NFL draft?
Man, we would put on a hell of a show. We'd probably do it right at Hart Plaza. Okay, that's where they hold movement or Demp for any of the old buggers out there that used to go to electric festivals. That's the best place to do it, right? Campus Martials probably be number 2, but it's probably going to end up being Hart Plaza. There'll be other stages with other events happening, with live music happening. Detroit's known for their electronic music. You know they're known for their rap. Like, they will have different stages similar to how movement is, with rap and electronic all cohesively working as one. They would have that going on during the day, right? Bars would be open. There'd be kiosks everywhere. People flooding the streets. It'd be great for the economy of downtown Detroit. And then we would have the draft, right? Then we would have the main stage, which is this huge stage, which is where I saw guys like Fatboy Slim. I saw Snoop Dogg there. I saw freaking Skrillex there, and in a random group he used to call Dog Blood. Very fun show. All these great acts on this huge main stage that's just like bigger than they could ever be. They look like a Lego when you look back on it. They're just this huge stage too. It's like these stone seatings going up. It's awesome. They could sell so much. There's so much room. And then you could just put videos all over and have it, kind of be everywhere. So there's a bunch of different ways that you could do this. I think that we would put on a hell of a show, and it wouldn't even, the draft would be like the second part. It would be like a Detroit festival. It would be bringing out every store that's made in Detroit, everything that sells made in Detroit. Like, it would be Detroit to the nines. It would be safe, you know what I mean? We've had plenty of events, so I'm all about this. I want both of them. Give me Hard Knocks and give me the draft, but we would put on a great show for the draft, to answer your question, for sure.
Julius, give me some thoughts.
I'll take both too, man, to be honest. And honestly, the draft to be like Detroit Super Bowl, we come out strong. People don't realize that Detroit, how we are underrated as a sports city, not only by history and by, it's really the Lions, the reason we are underrated as a sports city. Their ineptitude alone is one of the worst franchises in the history of sports. Underrates Detroit as a sports town, because we will pack Hart Plaza, we will pack Woodward, Jefferson, Congress, the riverfront, everywhere. It'd be legit. It'd be Lions fans everywhere. It'd even be better if like, I don't know. It could be possibly in Ford Field. The draft is at the end of April. I know sometimes the winter extends in Michigan a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they want it, but you're right. That would be that wouldn't be as much fun. I don't know if that'd be as much fun.
It wouldn't be as much fun. If it's 45 degrees, it's not as much fun than if it's 60, 65, 70.
It's true.
But
it's true.
If they got to go in Ford Field, they can also throw a party in there.
Yeah, you're right.
If they chose to, but I don't know if that, I think the NFL really likes the open outdoor.
Yeah.
A sea of people in the street. Look,
I will say the date is TBD. So,
I mean, it's always the end of April, though.
Well, the 2023 draft, that's a good point.
I mean, maybe they push it like the first week of May due to like the season change. You know what I mean? The week edition or whatever. But
which, I mean, I could see. But before we
Hard Knocks, though, bringing Hard Knocks. Pure entertainment, bro. We have so many characters on our roster, including our head coach. Man. Like, oh my gosh,
Dan Campbell will be the star of Hard Knocks. Easily.
And you know what?
Yeah,
I really think we're gonna get Hard Knocks just because we got the ratings came out for the Super Bowl, and we were the second most watched. Detroit was the second most viewed city over Los Angeles, over everyone else but Cincinnati, and we almost beat out Cincinnati. It was pretty close, which would have been absolutely
We weren't even in the damn Super Bowl.
That would have been
I would rather get the, I don't know if you guys watched it, but this year they had the first time ever they had a season-long Hard Knocks with the Colts, and I would rather be on that. I want
during
it all.
the season.
I would love to see it all season. I don't want just because the Hard Knocks is 4 episodes, and it's this biggest little teaser in my opinion. Like I watched the 4 episodes, and I'm like,
and you're like, more. Wait, this is the end?
This is the end, dude. You're like, God. But then now there's like Hard Knocks during season. You're like, sweet. I was watching, Darius Leonard and Carson Wentz during the season. That's awesome. I would love to see that.
It would be fun, but
we're not really winning the Super Bowl this year, so why not have Hard Knocks during the season?
How painful would it be to have to relive some awful because
it's inevitable that we lose.
See the players like, we're gonna win this week, no matter what. This is our week, and then like they lose off of something like just heartbreak.
It would be more entertaining. It would be some heartbreak for sure. We all know that, but
I think
more
Lions fans could,
and we could really get to know who's on our team. Like it stinks not really knowing who these guys and just kind of basing them off of on-field production. You know what I mean? And you see some tweets and this and that, but it'd be awesome to get the insight on a lot of these guys.
Can I give a quick wish list of players I want spotlighted on Hard Knocks just off the rip? This is not even before pre-free agency, pre-draft.
Off the top of the head.
Panay Sewell, TJ Hawkinson, Jared Goff, Craig Reynolds. Don't forget about him. Jamal Williams, if he's still around, he'll also be great on there.
He'd be great.
On the defensive side, I mean, I want to see the whole defensive line. I just want to see, pretty much the
camaraderie. I want to see the camaraderie between the defensive line, the chemistry. You know what I mean? Who's like pairing with who? Who's talking with who? You know what I mean? Special teams. Yeah. Amen.
Riley Patterson and Jack Fox. I want to see what's popping,
I want to see how our cornerback, because our cornerback, and if we can get the right safeties, we're about to have the Legion of Boom up back here. Like, it's going to be awesome. And I want to see, I bet Amani O's real quiet, and I bet Jeff Okuda's, real quiet, but I bet like AJ Parker and Jerry Jacobs are super vocal, you know what I mean? Super loud. They're undrafted
Jerry
boys.
Jacobs, man. He's a guy you can just tell.
He would be a
moment,
show stealer.
He loves every minute of like his NFL career, and I love that about him. He doesn't take anything for granted. And
I bet there'd be a definite segment of him like with his fans. You know what I mean? He's so good with his fans. Yeah. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So like those are our secondary, to see how they like our secondary room. That's the room I would want to watch more than any other room, is that secondary room. Watch Aubrey Pleasant be freaking teaching those guys and have an inside view of how he teaches it. Knock on wood if you're with me. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff you would never know unless you actually watch Hard Knocks. And I would be so ecstatic to watch the Lions freaking all season, but I'll take them at the beginning of the season too.
Yeah. Either or wouldn't be bad. Honestly, if we could get Hard Knocks and the 2024 draft announced within like the next 2 months, that'd be pretty cool. So
that would be like the foreshadow of Detroit. That like that's on the up. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine if like the Lions were like not even in the playoffs, just like close to, or like one spot out, or contending,
just contending,
24 year. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we would have the whole city popping. So it would be a good time. But before we move on to our cornerbacks and safeties free agency episode, if you guys are on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Any type of interaction. We love it all. Good, positive, negative. It doesn't matter. But you guys can also check us out on Twitter at Honolulu Blues _. So with all that being said, boys, are you guys ready to talk some free agency safeties and cornerbacks, I guess?
Let's go.
And speaking about cornerbacks, I can't, I feel the need that I got to bring up our boy Jeff Okudah.
You feel the need for speed? Because Jeff Okudah?
Yes, indeed. And by speed, I don't know if you guys saw the videos. You guys probably did, by our listeners. He's been doing some running, and not just a little jogging here and there. He's been doing full-out sprints, the whole kit and caboodle. I like that word, Nick. I'm gonna steal it now.
The whole kit and
But-
caboodle, yes,
yeah,
sir.
the whole.
That's actually a John Candy coined term right there from Rookie of the Year. He says it, and I always thought it was hilarious as a kid.
I don't blame you. But yeah, Okuda's looking a little bit better. So I'm gonna bring it to you, Julius. Are we officially gonna throw the bus card out the window? And no, we need to see him play more. This guy's not a bust.
We need to see him play more. I'm not calling him a bust yet.
Right.
I'm giving him one more on the field tryout.
Julius, I'm pretty sure if we go back and listen to every show we've ever done, you're the one that's called him a bust more than anyone else, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what you're talking about right now. But okay.
You're
Go
right.
on.
You're right. Okay. I have anointed him a bust.
But he can redeem
But
himself.
I'm still giving the guy one more chance. All right. I want to see him on the field one more time, just to be sure that he's a bust. But honestly, if he's not, if he's not a bust, we're getting ready to talk free agency. Jeff Okuda, Amani Oruwariye. Okay, effective Jeff Okuda, effective Amani Oruwariye, improved Ife Malifanyu, Jerry Jacobs, and AJ Parker, two UDFA superstars returning. Do we need to sign a free agent corner or even draft one?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And the way that we
I mean,
dude, just wait for undrafted free agent cornerbacks. Like Brad Holmes is like 2 for 2 on those right now, 3 for 3. I don't know. We don't need to be drafting a cornerback. I don't want to be signing like maybe I guess it's like a small time someone, but I don't even know who that is. Like, give me the undrafted free agents for cornerback. We got that's like one of our deepest positions right now. I think, like realistically, like we have Parker, Jacobs, Ife, Okuda, Amani, and probably some other people I can't even think of right now. But like those 5 right there are just great. They're solid.
yeah, and then the one thing I will say, there are a lot of just kind of veteran cornerbacks and kind of hybrid type players. So would a guy like Patrick Peterson, who just wants to get a 1-year deal, another prove deal, would he be someone that interests you? And he's, I will say he played for the Vikings last, I think, 2 years, maybe 1 year, but he's coming from Minnesota. So Patrick Peterson, Julius, you're shaking your head no.
Shaking my head no. Honestly, there's a slew of these guys that are like these veteran guys who we can maybe get on like a 1 year, Desmond Trufant, type.
We got a young core too. So
I'm not sure we need to throw Kyle Fuller or Patrick Peterson or Kareem Jackson into what we have right now. I rather we throw a young guy in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100.
I agree. There's really not a lot of cornerbacks I'll go after. I'll tell you one, like there's actually I wonder what Eli Apple signs for, because honestly that dude's a good cornerback. He got burnt in the Super Bowl and he's got so much slack. I think that's gonna take his price down, but he's all right cornerback and he's only like 26. But again, it's gonna be more money than I want the Lions to sign for cornerbacks. Like what we talked about, literally should reiterate it. No, I guess if one of these veterans wants to believe in Detroit and come be a leader and maybe like a transition player to the coaching realm, which like he might feel like this is like the best way to really help coach. Like there's a lot of good coming from the staff. You can learn a lot from these guys who are ex-players who went into coaching. You can learn a lot from them. So veterans who want to get into coaching might see that as an opportunity to come be able to pick a brain for a year or two. So that's an enticing opportunity. However, I want all those deals on like low deals. I don't want to overpay for anyone, even if it's for 1 year. I don't want to overpay for it. It's not, in my opinion, I'd rather let these guys start to work themselves out and figure out who is who and where is where. Not put them, put a guy like AJ Parker who only now gets 10 snaps a game because Patrick Peterson is going to come in and take up 45, 35 snaps. Like I would rather AJ Parker get those 45, 35 snaps and let's see if that dude's for real. Like, let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? We know what Patrick Peterson is. We might be able to get how often do you sign an old cornerback and you get a Charles Woodson-esque, reviving year
That's a
out.
great point. Yeah.
So rare. So they're really just coming to be leaders, but they won't be playmakers on the field. They might do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't know, which is great. But again, I'm not going to overpay for that right now. I'm just not.
We don't need that old veteran leader cornerback in our locker room. We already got Aubrey Pleasant and Aaron Glenn. They just left the NFL. Those are the veteran
That's
leaders
true.
for the secondary.
That's a great point.
We don't need to add one.
And Amanio is a veteran cornerback now. Like that
He's
dude's
into it most definitely.
yeah.
All right, since we are off the cornerback train, I just thought I would ask about some of these old vets because I will say there are quite a few, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these guys in the North again, in which it wouldn't shock me if the Packers tried to beef up their defense for Aaron Rodgers, in which I think we all can agree that he's probably coming back now with all the money they've cleared around him and just Rodgers being Rodgers.
I hate him.
Yeah, me too, Nick. But safeties, there's quite a few, and we could get your veterans studs like Tyrann Mathieu, who, believe it or not, is still just 26 years old, and I thought this guy was like 28, 29. So honestly, if we want to throw the bag Tyrann Mathieu, I would be opposed, but there's other studs in here like Jesse Bates, who's young, coming looking for his first big contract. Marcus May, who's still just 27 years old, coming off a 1-year deal. Marcus Williams, another safety coming from New Orleans, who's familiar with Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn. So I guess let's just dive into Marcus Williams because he seems like he would be the ideal fit. The Saints got him, I believe, in like the 4th or 5th round. He was a big steal, and honestly, him and Marshawn Lattimore were just ballers these last few years. Actually, no, I'm wrong. They got him in the 2nd round, but regardless, he has been playing very well. He's a unrestricted free agent this year. So, Nick, would you like to see Marcus Williams wearing the Honolulu blue?
Yes, I would. We would have to throw the bag at him, and I'm okay with that. He is one of like 2 guys that I'm okay with throwing the bag at. Realistically, I don't think there is any chance he comes to Detroit. But if we paid him a good amount of money, I'm okay with that. I know Julius has reiterated time and time again throughout the last couple of weeks that we don't need to go out and sign these big, hefty free agents this year. We don't need to fall into this Bob Quinn like rabbit hole. But I do think Marcus Williams, being how young he is, 25 years old, really could really help shape our defense and that secondary we just talked about, especially having like Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn as the coaches. He would be great. He's got the connection with Aaron Glenn already, right? Aaron Glenn was his secondary coach his entire career up until last year. So I think that might be enticing enough to bring him over, and hopefully it's about Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell, who also has a connection with Marcus Williams, being able to sell themselves to Marcus Williams, because I bet he's going to get offered very similar money, but by teams that might be a little bit closer to winning. But in the NFL, as we saw with the Bengals, you're always just a year away. You really, really are in this league. So I think there's a good chance, and I think we need to try to utilize that, and let's good people know good people. And if Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn trust Marcus Williams and like him enough to go throw the money, convince Brad Holmes to throw the money at him, then I am fully on board. He is my number 1 safety to get. I love him. I'm all about him. Get him.
Yeah, and I will say, the one good thing we have going for us is we just saw Tracy Walker play. He is up to be a free agent. We could either bring Tracy Walker back, or we could let him go and do a little upgrade and get Marcus Williams. And now we've had, I guess, Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, who have coached and played with this guy for I don't know how long, but at least a couple of years. And they've seen both Tracy Walker and Marcus Williams. So they'll know, is this guy really worth, paying up for? Is this going to be this much of an upgrade? So for me, I'm with you, Nick. I think he would be a great guy to, our one position we spend up at, because I think we're only going to spend up at one spot. If it's going to be our secondary, it's going to be the secondary, not wide receivers, or we're going to take that in the draft. But we might go out and get, a solid wide receiver or something, and just approach the secondary in the draft and take Kyle Hamilton. So who knows? But Julius, Marcus Williams, does he appeal to you at all?
He does appeal to me, and honestly, when it comes to the safety position, I feel completely different than I do about the cornerback position. As deep and promising and young as I feel like our cornerback position is, our secondary position is dry outside of Tracy Walker, who we might not even re-sign. So Marcus Williams, he fits like a glove. He was in New Orleans with Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn. He knows these guys. He can be sold to culture. We got the money for him. Looking like his market value sitting at 15. Yeah. Well, okay, that could be worked around. We can afford that. He could be a playmaker for our defense if everything goes well. I am for Marcus Williams.
100%. So I think that's a consensus. We're all in on him. Good to hear. Next one up. This guy, we were tweeting about him a little bit the last couple weeks, and that's our boy Julius Jabril Peppers. We saw him play firsthand in Michigan, started his career in Cleveland, then was traded to New York, and never really got a chance to, choose his destination. So his first time being an unrestricted free agent, he could either, go to a contender or he could, go chase the money. And he hasn't really been paid a whole lot. He had one $6 million year last year, which was last year. And he had 2020, 2019, only 1.8 and $1.4 million deals. So he has been paid a whole lot. This guy is definitely going to be looking for money.
Sounds like a lot to me.
Nick, what do you think about Jabril Peppers? You think he would be a good fit for our defense?
I think he's got the motor that Dan Campbell wants. What is his? If someone can pull this up real quick, Jabril Peppers, how many games has he played every year of his career? Is he on the field most of the time? Because it seems to me like he's not, and that's just not the guy I kind of want. But I could be wrong. Knowing Jabril Peppers and seeing him play the in college, however long ago that was, and in Cleveland, I think to start, or where was he before he went to the Giants? Cleveland, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Cleveland. Okay. He has some of the tools, but he's like a wannabe Bob Sanders. Like he wants to be this hard hitting, like going at it, but he just isn't great. I don't think I would want to pay up for what he is. If he wants to come to us on a good dollar, hey, I'm okay with that. Do we have a market value for him?
12.5.
Okay, 12.5. But also to answer your first question, Nick,
really. Yeah.
He started rookie year 13 games, second year 16 games, third year 11 games, fourth year 14 games, and then this past year just 5 games. So
no, okay, so he's
$12.5 million would make Jabril Peppers a top 10 paid safety in the NFL. His stats and his injury history does not warrant that, in my opinion.
You're 100% correct. You've convinced me. Listen to Julius. He knows what he's talking about. He said the word warrant. You know what I mean? Like he gets it. Like, let's go.
No, seriously, if we're going to pay
I agree,
Jabril Peppers $12.5 million, we got to pay Marcus Williams 15. Why not?
Right. Not even 15, dude. I'm
He's
throwing like
such a superior
16,
player.
17. You know what I mean? Like
superior players that can be Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus Williams. I mean, we can go down the list of superior players, superior safeties. Jabril Peppers does offer a special teams add-on, but that's still not worth the capital that's involved at his market value.
No, there's only 2 guys that you pay top dollar for right now that's on the market. Marcus Williams, Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates at 14.4 market value right now. What did we say? Marcus was at 15. We said Marcus was at 15. So that's where they're at. We're gonna have, if we want one of those top guys, we're gonna have to pay 17, 18, 19, 20, realistically. And we might not do that for a safety. We might not be able to do that for a safety. So then we need to really do. So then who is the top of the second tier? You know what I mean? Like, is it Tracy Walker? Is it Keanu Neal? You know what I mean? Is it Tyrann Mathieu? Do we pay a lot for Mathieu to try to get him? Like, where do we go here? You know,
that's crazy. Marcus May's market cap right now is only 7.4 million, which
I don't know. That's all right with me. You know what I mean? That's we'll take that. That's where we're gonna probably end up being at safety is 8 million. We're gonna sign someone for around 8-9.
What do you guys think about our old friend Quandre Diggs? He gives us a hometown discount, 2 a year, 20 mil. You guys taking that if, Marcus Williams goes somewhere else?
As much as I don't think he's going to like truly come in and be the most impactful player for our team, I think he could be. Bring him back. I loved him in Detroit. I want him back in Detroit. I hate that Quinn got rid of him. He should have never went for a 5th rounder. I think we got for him.
It ended up being Deron Harmon for 1 year.
Who is a free agent. I saw him on here and was gonna bring him up. Bummer, dude. Bring him back. I'm okay with that. He's 29. Get him till he's 31. Yeah, we'll take a chance on him.
He's sitting at 3-year, $36 million market value, somewhere around $12 million per season.
We would get a big. I don't know about that.
Based on his recent injury history, I will pass. However, there are some names that we could add that are quite cheaper that I've seen that are very enticing. Like we could bring back J-Ron Curse, for example, who with Dallas last season in his hybrid safety slot corner, a la Will Harris role, he was one of the best in the league at doing that. And we could get him for like, a year, $4 million, 2 year, $7 million, or there's guys like Jaquiski Tartt, guys like Keanu Neal. I think, Nick, you mentioned him.
Yeah.
If we're not going to go for Marcus Williams, Jesse Bates, then we probably going to go for one of those, lower level guys, I believe.
How much are we signing Tracy Walker for? Like that, like if we're not gonna get one of those top guys, then that we got to figure out. We're just get Tracy Walker back. He exploded with Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn Aubrey. It was nothing like what he was with Matt Patricia, who didn't know how to coach. You know what I mean? Like that. It's just way different. Like Tracy Walker is like a good safety now. We just didn't know it because Matt Patricia wouldn't allow him to be a good safety. So, what are we paying him though?
That's a great point. Yeah, because could we get Tracy Walker at a solid price? And turns out this guy is actually, maybe not like the real deal, but hey, worth more than what we paid.
Yeah, a solid starter. You know what I mean? But how much do you pay him, boys? What do we like? What do you pay him? $12 million?
Are we talking? We're talking about Marcus Williams or
Tracy Walker?
Tracy Walker. I don't believe so. I don't think that's his market value at this point. I think he's more in like I think he's more like the 7 to 9 range. Yeah,
7 to 9. So is that what you're paying him? Are you, if someone offers him $10 million to go somewhere else, are you trying to trump it and go 10.2? You know what I mean?
Perhaps.
See, that's where that line is. Like Tracy Walker, how good is he? We don't know because we missed.
He's not been a Pro Bowl, All Pro safety.
But he had Matt Patricia as his coach.
He's a weird one too.
You're right, but there were even times last season in the second in the coverage where you kind of like, I don't know if Tracy.
I know you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. But
how far up do I want to pay for that? For that uncertainty that still lies with him.
In the NFL, cornerbacks and safeties are always going to have moment of lapses. You know what I mean? There's always going to be time. Like Jalen Ramsey got burnt on that last play against Joe Burrow. Could have went down as one of the worst cornerbacks. Exactly.
Sports, the second.
But he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a cornerback. He's going to be a Hall of Fame cornerback. You know what I mean? It's that position is ridiculous. You just it's like baseball where you just want to get a hit at least 3 every 10 times you come up to bat. Meaning you're going to get out 7 times. And in football, you want to just kind of keep allow, not a lot, but you're going to allow stuff. That's what's going to happen. So I'm not worried that Tracy Walker, yes, he's not Ed Reed, but he's not terrible. And he knows the system already, knows the defense. And honestly, I'd rather just if we're not getting one of the top 2 guys, I'd rather re-sign him and then try to draft like Jalen Petre or oh my God, Daxton Hill or Jaquan Brisker, wherever they fall, those guys will be immediate impactful players. So that's really what I'm hoping. But again, Marcus Williams over everything. Go get Marcus Williams. Go get him.
I will say one guy, a veteran, that it's interesting. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we just added him for some depth and for some experience, and that's LaMarcus Joyner. And he was drafted to the St. Louis Rams in 2004. right when Brad Holmes was getting his start. He was a scouting assistant / combine scout, and obviously worked with the Rams his entire career up until the Lions. So as long as LaMarcus was on the Rams, he was playing with Brad Holmes. So he is 31 years old. He's, more of the veteran type 1 year cheap veteran deal guy. But if we wanted to give him a veteran deal, I would be opposed.
Yeah, good veteran leadership. I'm looking for super impactful players if we're going to spend money. But if we're going to get a cheap guy, I'm okay with those kind of players for sure. By the way, breaking news. Red Wings down 1-0.
Yeah.
Michigan State starts in 15 minutes.
Oh, all right. And speak of that, we should be wrapped up here pretty soon. But I'll bring up one more cornerback. If you guys have any interest, it's J.C. Jackson. I know a Patriot way is not the way we want to go, but this dude has been probably the best cornerback the last 3-4 years. Absolute shutdown. Has been Mr. Interception. Is compared with, he's in the category of Marshawn Lattimore, Marlon Humphrey, and Tre'Davious White. His market cap is quite high at $20 million, but man, a guy like him paired up with Amanio and then Jerry Jacobs to cover a third, it would be insane.
Wait, I missed who are you talking about this whole time?
JC Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wasn't he undrafted? Or a 7th round pick?
It was, yeah. See, if we knew Jeff Okudah was done, then possibly. But I think Jeff Okudah could maybe give us something.
Here's my thing. You can never sign another New England Patriot.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Drop the mic on that. Like we're cutting that off right now. We are no longer, because honestly, Patriot players are really good for the Patriots. And that's like about it. There's a few guys, the top guys that really do succeed elsewhere. But
there's a guy named Tom Brady that just won a Super Bowl.
Okay, outside of Tom Brady. They're defensive players, I guess I should say. Like really, like Matt Judon, Jamie Collins did pretty good, and he didn't do good in Cleveland, did he? He didn't do good anywhere but New England. So I don't know.
And then New England signed him, and he just.
I trust Brad Holmes to sign the next J.C. Jackson undrafted this year than J.C. Jackson to do what he's about to get paid for any other team.
Exactly. And actually, it smells like Bob Quinn. It smells like Trey Flowers. No.
PU.
Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Van Noy.
Gross. I will say, while we're talking quarterbacks, the Chargers, they went out and they signed veteran Chris Harris to I think 1 year, 2 year deal. And he was pretty old at the time and was one of the better cornerbacks. So
that's true. That's a good sign. Yeah.
Signing a veteran cornerback could be interesting, in which it could be the spot that, covers the hole if Jeff Okudah isn't anything. But it also could be the guy that steals the reps away from whoever it be. Because we saw – you give these undrafted guys a shot, and they could make the most of it. We saw AJ Parker do it. We saw Jerry Jacobs especially, and a few others. So,
yeah.
It's an interesting route.
Yeah, you really don't want your cornerbacks to be all undrafted players. We really don't. We did get they are really. We got some good steals, and we trusted Brad Holmes, but we should bring in a veteran cornerback. There's nothing wrong with that. And also, we need to bring in a safety, Marcus Williams, Jesse Bates. Bring those boys in. I swear.
I'm trying to look through the rest if there's any. Julius, outside of Marcus Williams, Jesse Bates, is there any safeties that pique your interest? I know there's Terrell Edmonds.
I mentioned J. Ryan Curse, Kewanee Neal, the younger guys that are can still give something.
Keanu Neal is 26 years old. You know what I mean?
He's young. He is. He's
young.
And that's who we should. I don't think we should be looking at the older guys as much. Cornerback, I remember when we had a young Darius Slay, and I believe on the opposite side of him we put Rashard Melvin, or who's the guy?
Oh man,
from the Jaguars.
Rasheed Mathis.
Rasheed Mathis.
I'm sorry, Rasheed. I didn't mean to call you Rashard Melvin, but Rasheed Mathis was the perfect number 2 corner, veteran, cheap contract pickup to help mentor the younger corners that we had at the time. And he played great for us for a couple years in that role. But that's honestly doesn't happen often. More often than not, you're going to get your Desmond Trufant seasons,
exactly.
Who's the other guy we had before Trufant?
Who is the slot corner that stunk that
Quinn
we paid a
signed him.
ton?
Justin Coleman.
Justin Coleman. Yeah,
Justin
exactly.
Coleman.
Dude.
Yeah.
Though he had a couple good punch outs. That was
Yeah,
pretty
he
fun.
did, yeah.
Justin Coleman, screw him. No, it's tough. Go draft you guys. You know what I mean? Let's go trade back, acquire more draft picks, and let's have a good year.
And
let's
then
go
it's
state too.
also interesting too because if Brad Holmes is like, nah, we're taking Kyle Hamilton at 2 because we're pretty confident Jaguars are taking a guy at 1. It could, or Aiden Hutchinson at 1. It could change a lot. So it's interesting that free agency comes before, and I think if we don't see the Lions take any or like sign any big free agency secondary, would your confidence grow that we might be getting Kyle Hamilton? Or
it all depends. Because like I said, I like Jalen Petre, I like Jaquan Brisker. There's other good safeties out there. You don't need to get Kyle Hamilton. I would actually rather do Kayvon Thibodeau and then try to get Brisker in like the second round or Daxton Hill. I want an edge rusher, and I know Kayvon's fallen down. Daniel Jeremiah's everybody's list. I still like him. I still like him a lot, to be all honest. I think he's going to be very talented, and I still really want him. I don't know if Aiden Hutchinson is the next Joey Bosa, but this is a draft talk we got a whole month of draft talk. Right now, I'm signing Marcus Williams. I don't care if we get Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams. That would be just okay with me. You know what I mean? Just get Marcus Williams and let's go from there.
Ridiculous.
That would be dirty. Oh, my God.
Julius, any final comments on any of these secondary cornerback players before we wrap it up?
Not really. I mean, as far as the Kyle Hamilton thing, if we don't re-sign Tracy Walker and we don't make no moves on Marcus Williams or any of the big safeties in the first wave of free agency, then the possibility is high that we're going to draft one. Like Nick said, that still doesn't take away that we could draft. We're probably going to draft an edge at 2 because edge is so much more valuable position than safety any day of the week.
Yep.
I agree. Now, I'll bring up one final question. Tyrann Mathieu, if he says, look, you guys give me $21 million, make me the highest paid safety, I'll come. Nick, shaking your head, no. Julius, no. All right. Fair enough.
It's a good question. Great leader, great player, a little up there in age. Coming off an injury, I don't want him.
I want to say what? He was younger than I thought, but yeah, I get what you're saying, Nick.
He's gonna get cut though, or he's not getting re-signed by Kansas City.
I know.
I bet they're drafting Daxton Hill in the first, or they go in big money and get Marcus Williams. I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, with all these contract restructures and
salary cap is a
myth.
Salary cap is a piece of crap. That's what
I saw someone tweet. It was when we posted that Devontae Adams. Could we possibly sign Devontae Adams? Some guy was like, "There's no chance." Devontae Adams was 100%. Like he said something with like I forget what it was, but then it led to like a whole thread, and he was like, "No, the salary cap is a myth." And ever since he said that, I was like, "That guy's kind of true," because what the Packers have just done, how they're like, "Oh, we have $20 million free in cap space for you, Aaron Rodgers." I was like, "Wait, what?" Or no, I'm sorry, for you, Devontae Adams.
We have, except until all of that does come crumbling down, because at some point it will.
It will, yeah.
But you can push it off for a long time, in my opinion. So I don't know.
That's what we should do, man. We should hire a guy that's just like the best bookkeeper in the country. Just knows how to, hey, if we give this guy an extra 32 cents, it saves us 17 cents in 2027.
Who's Warren Buffett's advisor? We're going to need him. You know what I mean?
For real. But I think that's all we got. Popping right off before this Michigan State game. Nick, I see you're flashing, Sparty butts.
All day.
Shout back, go blue.
Go blue.
As always, check out the Honolulu Blues _ on Twitter. Check us out individually. Nick at Nick Faber NFL, Julius at the Fifth Top, and myself at Everyday FFB. As always, boys, go Lions. And next week,
Lions.
I'm not really sure what we're going to be. Actually, no, we're talking free agency. Pass rushers, linebackers.
Well, Combine, too, because Combine is going to be happening. We're going to have some of that. But then free agency, we got a lot. We got a lot of stuff coming on, yeah.
You'll want to tune in. It's going to be a good show.
Aren't you proud of me, boys? I put my name in correctly this time.
I did think about that.
Yeah.
Shout out
to go.
Woodward Sports for having us on too.
Yeah, shout out Woodward Sports. If you guys didn't check that out, you can go look on our Twitter, look on our Facebook. We're on it. You can follow the Woodward Sports. Great show. Great time.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Go blue, baby. And
Go green.
Go Lions.
Go white.
Go Lions.